The laws of the Federation of Nigeria, LFN, is an alphabetical compilation of laws operative in Nigeria, which are updated on a regular basis. Further note that the compilation of the laws of the Federation of Nigeria is carried out under the authority of the Attorney General of the Federation, subject to the approval of the National Assembly through an act. Informed that the last and extant compilation of the laws of Federation of Nigeria was in 2004, which reckoned with all statutes existing in the Federation as of 31st December 2002. Further informed that the laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 was subsequently approved by the National Assembly through the revised edition Laws of the Federation of Nigeria Act 2007, which repealed the revised edition Laws of the Federation of Nigeria Act 1990. Aware that the statutes in the Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 were enacted in different years before and after Nigerians' independence, even though they are all cited as LFN 2004, which consists of 16 volumes, with each volume being made up of several statutes organized in an alphanumeric order. Further aware that there was an attempt to revise the laws of the Federation of Nigeria in 2010, but this effort had no legal framework of the National Assembly approving it. Worried that the laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 has not been revised 19 years after, with the implication that the several laws enacted in Nigeria from 1st January 2003 till date remain excluded from the compilation. Further worried that the continued non-revision of the laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004 has not only left numerous statutes out of the compilation, but also retained many repealed statutes with the attendant confusions and other negative impacts. Concerned that the non-compilation of the several federal statutes leads to dearth of knowledge of many existing laws on the part of Nigerians, especially students, lecturers, researchers, lawyers, legislators, and judges, amongst others. Convinced that revision of the laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 is long overdue, as such will be in the interest of democratic governance in Nigeria to commence the revision process without further delay. Resolved, the Senate is called to resolve. 1, urge the Senate to mandate its Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, and Legal Matters to immediately interface with the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to initiate the process of revising the laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and urge the Senate, 2, to give further directives as deemed expedient and appropriate in the circumstances. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I so present and move accordingly. Thank you, sir.
I respectfully move to support this motion. My name is Ekong Samson, Akwa Ibom South. With the kind permission of Mr. President, may I make some adumbrations to the point that have been canvassed by the mover of this motion. I think the major purpose that drives this motion is a need for us to broaden access to justice. We may have the gamut of laws in this country, but we need to explore beyond that and explore towards having the access to justice. We know that our society is dynamic. What defined our laws in the past may not be the same now. So it becomes very critical that we review the gamut of our laws from time to time. The larger intent is that way we broaden access to justice. It is not enough for us to have access to law. We must have access to justice. But beyond that, it is that we must publicize the gamut of our laws. Many Nigerians are in the dark about the contents the structure, and indeed the context of our laws. Through this intervention, it would be easier for us to publicize the gamut of our laws to Nigerians. Viewed within this context, I'm fully in support of this motion, given the nature of our society. The society continues to evolve, and as society evolves, there's need to have some adjustments. This will deepen the tissue of our jurisprudence. So this motion is good, not just for law, it is also good for our jurisprudence. But the larger significance is that through this intervention, it becomes easier to have access to justice. We must have access to justice for us to enjoy our democracy. And we must also ensure that our people knows the content of our laws. Viewed from this backdrop, I support this motion. It is well-timed, and truly, it will enrich our law and jurisprudence. Thank you.
Mr. President, this is a very, very, very important law. And looking at the global phenomenon today, the name of the game is e-commerce. All over the world, transactions are made electronics. And those nations that have refused to tally with what the world bargains lives to fight another day, and they live to regret it. Compilation of laws. The compilation of the laws has to do with every segment that the law at present has not captured. If you look at Kaka's bill, it brings to bear the gaps that the present laws have actually not met. As a lawyer, I'm sure he has taken his time to do this research. And the best thing for us as a parliament is to take this bill to the second reading. It is there that I'm sure interested public participants will be called to look at it, revisit it, and bring possible amendments to it. So I believe this is a very important bill that the Senate President and this chamber should encourage. Thank you.
That is why it's good. The distinguished Senator Kaka, yeah. Your motion, we can now go into the prayers. Prayer 1, mandate the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters to immediately interfere with the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to initiate the process of revisiting the laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. Those who are in support of this prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, give such further directives as deemed expedient and appropriate in the circumstances. Those who are in support of this prayer to say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank distinguished Senator Kaka for this motion, and also thank all our distinguished colleagues for their contributions. There is no doubt that we have different versions of the Nigerian laws on the streets of Abuja being sold. We even have different parts of the Constitution, and sometimes even the subtitles are wrong. And all sorts of people are just printing these things. Even most of the amendments that have been initiated in the Senate, passed and signed into Acts of Parliament by Mr. President are not reflected in some of the things that they are selling on the road. So it will be good for us to revisit and put these things together for the benefit of Nigerians, and particularly their lordships in the last judges' conference, ongoing judges' conference, even pointed this out, that it's important that, that we do the necessary things and then, of course, gazette them and then forward it to them, because sometimes the amendments are not reflected in the Acts of Parliament, and they have no ways of knowing, because these things are not forwarded to them. So I've discussed with the clerk of National Assembly that must be done, and so the compilation of this is very important. So it's a very important bill, and I urge the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, and other matters to work closely with the Office of the Attorney General to bring about the reform in our laws. Thank you. Leader of the Senate. To enable members and their colleagues attend to various committee meetings and also attend to the ongoing discussions on the budget, say aye. Those against say nay. The other things are hereby stepped down to the next legislative dates. So let me thank all members for the wonderful session, very peaceful session. And at the end, we arrived at very serious conclusions for the benefit of Nigerians and for the direction of the future. Then just for the benefit of the clerk of the Senate, there was, in the course of reading the amendment on the further committees, chairman, vice chairman, there was a slight error in one. As I speak now, the civil senator, Ismail Akawu, is in Lagos, representing us as vice chairman of the Navy. So we inadvertently recognize him for cyber crime, Committee on ICT and cyber crime. So the vice chairman of the Navy is actually Senator Abdurrahman Ismail Kawu, vice chairman of Navy, and he's already in Lagos doing the function of the Senate with the Nigerian Navy, while the vice chairman of ICT and cyberspace committee is actually Senator Sani Dango Dara, and the one I said I'll get back to you later was the vice chairman of solid minerals, and that is Senator Ifeanyi. Having exhausted the items on the order paper and having had a very fruitful and peaceful deliberations today, this Senate is hereby adjourned to Wednesday, the 22nd day of November at 11 a.m. prompt.
Go and pour this now. Put it inside the thing.
Yes, please.
Mr. President.
Yes, please.
Mr. President.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm meeting with you guys now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I'll see you guys in the next 10 minutes.
All right, ma'am.
In 10 minutes.
My performing chairman.
Let's